Minnesota Senator Al Franken has been campaigning for Hillary Clinton in battleground states such as Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. He is also an outspoken opponent of the proposed merger between AT&T and Time Warner. He says it could lead to, quote, higher costs, fewer choices, and even worse service for customers. Senator, good morning.
Good morning.
Want to get to that merger in a little bit, but first, the election is 6 days away. Do you think this disclosure by the FBI director has led to a tightening in the polls?
I don't know. I always thought this would be a close election. I'm kind of the poster child for close elections.
312 votes?
Yeah, that number rings a bell. And so that's why I've been going around the country. And, you know, I've known Hillary for 23 years. She's the smartest, toughest, hardest working person I know. And I trust her to do the job of president.
Yet she still has that problem, that perception of honesty and trust. Why do you think that persists today as someone who has known her? And what do you think she needs to do or can do to turn it around?
Well, I think it's been 25 years of attacks by the right. I think she made a mistake with the emails, and she acknowledges it. But I know her, and I trust her to do the job. That, you know, when decisions come to the president, there are decisions that only the president can make. I'm sure you saw the movie 13 Days about the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it becomes clear very early that the president is the one.
Do you doubt Donald Trump can make those kind of decisions?
I do not want. I don't think he can. I think he's a man with a very short attention span. I think we've seen that. I don't think he is interested in policy. I want and I know how important turnout is as someone who won by 312. So I'm urging all of my everyone who supports Hillary to get out there and vote.
One question about issues. Health care, Obamacare. Is it a big issue? Are people angry about it?
There are some people who, for example, Minnesota, who have a right to be mad about the price on the exchange. But it's not that people get their health care through the exchange, or about 4 or 5%. About 80 to 85% of them get subsidies through the tax credit. So it doesn't involve, and the benefits, 20 million people extra covered. You can't be turned down for a pre-existing condition. You can't hit an annual cap. You can't hit a yearly cap, so you won't go bankrupt if you get sick. All of these, and as far as healthcare costs, they've gone down we bent the cost curve, as we talked about. And we've extended the life of Medicare by 11 years.
Right. A lot of great things. People still have trouble affording it, given that the prices have gone up anywhere from 20 to 80% in many places. But
again, those are on the exchange. That's 4 or 5% of the people. The people who have been hit that way have a right to be mad. But what I'm saying is, and when I said we bent the cost curve, if you talk about getting it through your employer, the price of that. And this is significant because this is how most people get their insurance, has gone up at a much slower rate than it had at any time in 50 years.
Let's talk about the merger.
Yeah, go ahead.
The merger, okay.
Why you're
AT&T
opposed.
and Time Warner.
Well, AT&T has the pipes, so to speak. So it delivers content. It has DirecTV, largest pay TV there is. 25 million, I believe. It has the second largest mobile broadband, with increasingly people getting their TV through that. Buying for $85 billion Time Warner, which has some of the most desirable content that exists, including.
Why is it bad for the consumer?
Why is that bad? Because it's vertical integration. And it also has HBO and CNN and TBS.
But has the NBC-Comcast merger, which you led a fight against, has that hurt consumers?
I think it did. Yeah, it did. And in fact, DOJ and Department of Justice and the FCC put conditions on that, and this is what AT&T is saying, well, put conditions on us. The reason that Comcast and Time Warner Cable, which is a separate company, didn't get approved, one of the big reasons it didn't get approved was that Comcast did not obey, did not go through with some of those conditions. And this raises prices for consumers. It always does. This concentration, this consolidation of media is not good for consumers.
So you're saying it raises prices and decreases choices?
Exactly. And usually leads to worse service, even worse service. But in other words, now AT&T buys this content. It can favor its own content on DirecTV or through its mobile broadband. And also other deliverers of content will be disadvantaged.
Just one quick point. Jeffrey Bukes, who is a Time Warner chief executive, dismissed the things you're saying when he spoke on Friday. He said that doesn't jibe with the company's business imperatives to offer the most channels for the best price and to have its own channels as widely distributed as possible.
You know, he said, like, this doesn't make sense. It's be like we have a toothpaste and we don't want to get into Dwayne Reed. This is like having HBO and shaking down Comcast. Those are very different. And he said it would be like, it'd be like having a toothpaste company and having CVS. and
That's
HBO,
called vertical integration.
Yeah, and HBO isn't a toothpaste. HBO.
How we get news and information.
You know, people can live without Arm & Hammer toothpaste. People.
Oh no, I want my Arm & Hammer toothpaste.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Senator,
Well, the conversation will continue.
Well, if you
we're
go
out
to
of time.
CBS and get it, if you really, really care about your Arm & Hammer, but the HBO, Warner Brothers movies.
We've got to put the toothpaste back in the tube and get out on time here. Our producers are going to kill us.
You're trained in that kind of thing, isn't it? Okay, analogy.
That's why I'm sitting at this table. That's why I'm sitting at the table. Thank you,
Something
Senator.
tells me you'll speak up about it again. Thank you very much for coming to the table today.
You bet.